Overtime starts now.
Hello again, everyone, and welcome. We are glad to be back with a new season of Overtime, the basketball version. I'm Scott Leber.
And I'm David Greenberg. The high school basketball season started Thanksgiving weekend. Now that we have flipped the calendar to the new year, it's time to focus in on that action. Conference play for boys and girls teams has started to heat up.
And we've got tonight's action for you. Plus, we'll be joined by Winnebago girls basketball coach Judy Krause to talk about her Indians. They are undefeated and ranked #1 in the state in Class 2A. And BOYLAN boys assistant coach Gordy Casper has been battling cancer for the past year and a half. He'll share with us some of what he's been through and how he's doing right now. So let's get into the highlights, and you had a good matchup tonight at Guilford.
Absolutely. The Titans took on the Vikings. Both teams came in with one conference loss and trailing Nick 10 leader Auburn by just one game. The Vikings on a 6-game winning streak. This game will tell us a lot about how serious of a contender they were in the Nick 10 title. The fans packed the gym tonight. They were on hand for a good one, as you mentioned. Starting the third, Joey Apino dishes to the corner. Austin Hocking shot misses, but Apino there to scoop up the loose ball and lay it in. Guilford's ball now. Malachi Johnson drives the left, just flips it to the near corner right in your living room. Marquez Johnson buries the tray to re-give the Vikings the lead. Now check out the senior Bryson Hodge. Look at this drive. The head fake, draws contact, gets it to go for the and one. Malachi Johnson fired up for his teammate. Titans now trying to answer Noah Harkness. Airballs the shot. How about this effort from Jamar Johnson? Just flipping it up one-handed, the and one of his own. BOYLAN trying to reel it back in. Good ball movement. Apino finds Johnson underneath again. That's a bucket. It's a 2-point game. The Vikings coming up here, showing they are clutch. It's the junior. Makai Dolby pulling up from the wing and delivering. That made it a 5-point game. That gave Guilford all the momentum they needed to pull this one out 58-50. They're dancing, and they gave Coach Chris Dixon the ice bath after the win. But it's hard to do on slippery floors. Everyone's going down, but who cares, because this win puts them one step closer to winning that conference championship. How's the ice bath feel?
It feels good. Feels good. Good to have ice bath.
Yeah.
Hey, it's good to get a win. It's a big win for our program. So you know what? I'll take that tonight.
I first came here, like they said, BOYLAN was a tough team, and I ain't beat them since my sophomore year, and beating them now my senior year, just ecstatic. Like, I'm so happy. I can't, man, this is a win that I wanted for the longest.
Hey, man, it's a great atmosphere. It's something I live for. I dream about that every day. I dream about this atmosphere, playing in front of a big crowd. I'm just happy we got the win in front of all the fans, man.
I feel like this is a statement win where it kind of cements you guys as real contenders within the conference.
Yes, it does. Where we believe in, we're going to make everybody else believe we're the best team in the NIC.
Well, how about that one? Over at Belvidere North, the Blue Hunter hosted Harlem. Started a second, North up a few. Harlem, that's Dane Daling hitting the three. North coming back now, next possession. Evan Horgan finding Ethan Andre wide open in the middle, fights his way to the hoop. That's two more. Andre starting this next play, finds Aaron Winters, a quick touch to Adam Brown, who finds Pater. Harlem trying to fight back. Lathan Lewis says, yeah, he'll do it himself. Off the turnover, coast to coast. The contested jumper to try and climb back. But Ethan Andre coming back on the next Blue Thunder possession, spinning around, stepping back. The fadeaway is good. North led 30-24 at that point. The Huskies defeat Belvidere North 57-50.
Our next stop is Hononegah, where the Indians hosted Belvidere. The Indians were trying to shake off a rough loss at BOYLAN on Wednesday. The Indians are missing a key piece, Brandon Beck, out with a broken ankle. They hope to get him back maybe for the postseason. The Indians were sluggish at BOYLAN Wednesday, coming off COVID. While they were up to speed tonight, check this out. 6'9" Dominic Camisso handling the ball, gives to Isaiah Hui, right back to Camisso for the flush. Hui again here on the penetration, dishes to Braden Savitsky-Lynn for the lay-in. Hononegah's defense created a lot of turnovers. Cole Warren with the steal here. He's going to shift gears, gets the hoop, and one. Point guard Owen Hart was big in this game too. He hits a three. He's going to come right back with another three ball. Everything working for the Indians tonight. Warren going to sink another three. He's coming on strong. The Indians, folks, led 29-2 after the first quarter. They cruised to the win.
Well, the Freeport East game scheduled for tonight was postponed. Jefferson and Auburn also had the night off. So here's how the upper half of the Nick 10 looks following tonight's action. Auburn leads the way at 7-0. Guilford in second after their win at 7-1. The Titans in East both 5-2. It's going to be fun watching this race play out the next 7 weeks. Well, the big Nick 10 boys game tonight, as we saw, was BOYLAN against Guilford. It was the same case for the girls.
Yeah, the same two schools, Guilford and BOYLAN. The Vikings were 6-1 in conference play. The Titans were 5-1. We go to BOYLAN for this one. Third quarter action. Guilford's Sydney Donaldson, so dangerous from anywhere on the floor, including, as you see, the arc. At the other end, Lindsey Knuth comes up with a clean block there for the Vikings. In the third quarter, though, the Titans got the ball a lot to Lily Esparza. That's a good thing because she is talented. She scores. Again, the long look here by Olivia Harder to Esparza. And it's 2 more on the board. And why not keep going to it? Esparza, again, she's got great low post moves for a sophomore. She scored 18 points. Then Harder going to pull up from 16 and hits. The Titans outscored Guilford by 11 points in the third quarter. Another transition bucket for the Titans, Maggie Schmidt, up and in. She led BOYLAN with 24 points. Donaldson would drain a couple more from deep for Guilford. She scored 9. Knuth led Guilford with 17. But the Titans pulled away for a 60-46 win.
So I think the focus of this game was to really push the ball on the break. We knew that we had a couple of faster girls than the other team, and we also knew we had a height advantage underneath. So we really used Maggie Schmidt on the break for her layups, and then Lily for under the post on the block to get a couple of buckets easy for us.
You know, the kids came out and played really hard. We've put together 4 good games, and I think we're finally coming around. We had 2 sophomores and a junior out there, and they're getting game experience. Defensively, the kids are hustling well, so really pleased with the intensity.
You had a lot of girls play well, but Lily was really impressive inside there.
Lily's coming around. You know, she's a young lady, a lot of potential, nowhere's near what she's going to be, but each game she's getting tougher and better.
All right, we got some more big Northern highlights coming up in a bit from Oregon, Rockford Christian, and North Boone. But up next, we're talking Winnebago Indians girls basketball.
Head coach Judy Krause joins me to discuss her Indians, the #1 team in the state, currently in Class 2A. You're watching Overtime. Winnebago girls basketball team came into this season with high expectations. The Indians are living up to them so far. They're 18-0. They're ranked #1 in the state in Class 2A. Head coach Judy Krause joined me earlier by Zoom to discuss her talented squad.
Judy, first of all, great season you had a year ago. The girls went 13-2, and knowing all the talent you had coming back from that group, I'm just curious, when you talked with the girls over the summer or right before the start of the season, how high did you set the bar when you were talking about team goals for this season?
I guess our emphasis has always been on improvement. So I knew, because they were all returning kids, that there was definitely a level of improvement that could happen on the off season. Sadly enough, we've all been going through this COVID thing where it's a matter of hit or miss. Do we get games in the off season? Do we not? But the kids, basically came together as much as they could and worked to commit to, improving, and they certainly have improved as this season dictates.
You're ranked #1 in the state. I think you have been all season. How have the girls and you approached that, dealt with that, handled that?
Well, for the bunch of girls, it's been fun for them. Other than that, though, it's not something we emphasize, not something we really talk about. It's just a matter of, I've been around coaching a long time, knowing that you have to get ready for the next game. And that's all we're emphasizing at this point.
You're coming off a great showing at the State Farm Classic down in Bloomington, where you won the Girls Small School Championship. You played Brimfield, Normal University, Central Southeastern, Riverdale, I believe. So that's a pretty good competition. How much did that experience help your girls continue to grow and improve playing that kind of competition?
Oh, I think it was a great experience for all of them. I think just the exposure to a different arena, I think getting out of the area, just, different things that we've never done before. definitely serves to our advantage.
Is that also one of those team bonding type experiences? I assume you spend pretty much the most of the week together down there, right?
We definitely did, and with this group, they did well together. They certainly, I think bonding is a really important factor in any type of team atmosphere, and these girls really enjoy being with each other on and off the court, and I think that's a huge thing for us.
You have what I call the big three. You've got Mia Brown, Renee Rittmeyer, who are four-year varsity players, Campbell Schrank, who I was so impressed with last year and again this year. So on any night, any one of those three could go off for like 25 points. So I'm just curious how those three have kind of shared that scoring load amongst each other.
I really see this group as one in which wants to do it for each other, for their team. We've had, as you said, any one of those girls as a high score for the evening. We've also had Anna Kabelska's been a high scorer for us. Sarah Seeger's been a high scorer for us. Ella Proby's been a high scorer for us. So, they're definitely sharing the wealth and doing a really nice job with that.
And how deep does your bench go in terms of, I'm sure compared to most teams' benches, it's a lot deeper, but, how deep does it go in terms of how comfortable you feel putting somebody in there and not seeing a big drop off?
They're all talented athletes. They're just really talented athletes in no matter what level we're at. We use sophomores, juniors, and seniors, and we can go 8, 9 out, something like that, and still be doing what we need to do on the floor.
Right. How do you motivate your girls to continue to get better, especially when they're blowing out a lot of opponents by 20 points or more? Maybe that can be a difficult challenge to try to keep improving in those blowout situations. So what do you use as kind of the motivating tool to keep pushing them?
I really, they have a lot of intrinsic desire to be the best they can be. They're definitely wanting to see the improvement. And so it's not as if it has to be pulled out of them. They're ready to come to practice. They're ready to play those games. And I think every night, we have different goals that we have, and, they're ready to try to accomplish those goals.
Winnebago's had only 2 close calls through its first 18 games. They got by Palatine Friend by 7 points, and then edged Rolling Meadows by 2 points. But of course, those are much bigger schools.
Yeah, absolutely. You just have to hope the Indians can avoid injuries and COVID, and if they do, a very good chance of playing in Champaign that first weekend in March.
Yeah, I think so. Coming up in a bit, BOYLAN assistant basketball coach Gordy Casper shares what he's been through with cancer the past year plus.
But we're back into the highlights next with big Northern action from Rockford Christian and North Boone. Keep it here on Overtime.
Well, Stillman Valley and Rockford Christian put together solid seasons last year, and they're doing it again.
Yeah, Rockford Christian has some exciting young talent. Those 2 teams played tonight in Rockford. RC's great in transition. Noah Reese lunges ahead to Kavion Cummings. Attacks the rim and has the lay-in for 2. Cardinals trying to break the press. Good ball movement until the pass in the middle. Intercepted by Elijah Doherty. Christian Cummings not even looking for it. Lands right in front, just takes it to the rack with another quick bucket. This time Stillman does find an answer. That man is David Will Hit. And he will hit that 3 from the wing. Drains it beautifully. Royal Lions ball now. Elijah Doherty finding Ron Miller in the corner. The shot is pure and adds 3 more. Stillman brought it to within 6, but the Royal Lions pulled ahead to win 78-54. Another big Northern Conference game at BYRON taking on North Boone. 22-9 now. Tigers in the second. Bryce Nolan to Will Dutch on the other side. Puts the teardrop in for the Vikings. Harlem on the other end. Isaiah Gooden goes up, but it's the other Dutch. Chris Dutch says no thank you. Blocking that one. Featured Will Dutch back in the fall for football. May have to do it again here in the winter. Steals it and adds 2 more. This game was in BYRON's hands in the second half. Jordan Kroger, one hand to Ryan Tucker. That's good from 3. Tigers again. Tucker again. Stops at the top of the arc. drills another three. Byron beat North Boone 54-39.
Let's head south to Oregon. The Hawks hosted Rockford Lutheran 26-4. Lutheran early. A steal here by Lutheran turns into a Walter Hill Jr. lay-in. Oregon trying to hold it together. Anthony Bell gets it in the corner and drops in the three. Lutheran coming back the other way. It's Vontez Dent who will get it, and he'll put it in. And this next play will tell you what kind of night the Hawks had. Evan James over in the corner is going to get the basketball. Takes off to the rim, but it's rejected by Dent. The Crusaders won big over the Hawks, 71-24.
Also in the Big Northern, Winnebago won at Dixon 46-40.
Here are a couple more scores from around the area tonight. Rochelle won at DeKalb 62-53, and it was Sycamore losing to Canelan 46-28. Well, let's check out some more action. Turning back the clock to Thursday. Girls game at Stillman. The 12-5 Cards against Oregon. Stillman's super freshman Taylor Davidson going coast to coast there. Maddie McCammon next, going to knock down a three ball. Jenna Shelburne going in strong. And another talented young lady on this Cardinals team, Brooke Jordal, a freshman who hits the three. Davidson, the other freshman, hits another three. She scored 21 points. Stillman rolled over Oregon 51-21. Again, that was on Thursday.
Just draining everywhere.
Stick around because up next, our overtime spotlight segment. BOYLAN assistant coach Gordy Casper has been battling a fierce opponent off the court, cancer. We'll share what he's dealt with and how he's doing when overtime continues. Current BOYLAN boys assistant coach Gordy Casper has game planned for a lot of opponents in his coaching career going back to the early 90s, but he's never had an opponent as challenging as the one he's battled for the past year and a half. You'd never know it from watching Casper on the BOYLAN bench at a game a couple weeks ago, but he's been through a journey with colon cancer and started in August of 2020.
It was a challenge. We had 3 trips to the emergency room that were very difficult.
Casper went through chemotherapy and radiation treatments. The big moment came 2 months ago when his tumors were removed.
I had the surgery November 3rd. It was a 6-hour surgery, and the great news out of it is our doctors at University of Wisconsin came back and said I have no evidence of disease.
How serious was the cancer?
We never did find out what stage, and I really compliment my doctor, Dr. Dusty Deming, up at Wisconsin on that. His thing was, your job is to show up on time and to be positive. It was serious, but we were able to. The best way to put it is that my cancer marker number was 44 at the beginning. I don't know if that's good or bad, but I think it's probably bad because when I went through half of my rough chemo, I got it all the way down to 3. And he said that was remarkable.
What else is remarkable is Casper missed very few games or practices in the brief COVID season last February and March. He wanted to be there for the Titans.
It's incredible. And I don't think people know how long this has gone on. It was before the beginning of last season where he really started treatments, and for him to miss 2 days and still be around us, it's hard to get down on anything that you're going through individually when you got a guy sitting there who's given everything he has to the program despite what he's going through health-wise.
McAllister says one thing Casper has always brought to the Titans is toughness.
There's a certain way our kids need to play with mental and physical toughness. He preaches that message to the kids all the time.
You know, it just sends a message to persevere. You know, we're working hard out here, and he's got his own battle, and he still shows up and is here as often as he can be.
But even the guy who preaches toughness and exhibits toughness needed some words of encouragement to help him deal with cancer.
I have worked for Mike Miller and Steve Gores previously, and those two especially have really reached out to me and flat out given me pep talks. I can remember Mills giving me a pep talk on leaning on sports and using that as a way to, okay, cancer's the opponent, it's not Moline tonight. We need to figure out what we need to do to beat them, and so it's been great.
Casper got another surprising show of support Friday, December 3rd, when all the coaches in the Nick 10 at their games wore T-shirts that read Team Casper on the front.
It's really blown me away as to how much People have reached out to me, my wife Amy, and our daughters to help us out through this. From the t-shirts to the GoFundMe and then to all the meals that the community's brought out. You never know that, wow, so many people, you impacted their life and they want to help back. So that's been neat.
And Casper told me he signed up to be part of a case study for some fairly new cancer treatment medicine that he was given, and he hopes what the medical community learned from that study will help people in the future who have cancer.
Absolutely, and the best part is he's doing well, right?
Yeah, he's doing great. He had one more minor medical procedure yesterday to wrap things up, and he hopes to be back teaching at Riverdale School and back on the BOYLAN bench again very soon.
That is fabulous. Let's take one final timeout.
We'll be right back. When we wrap up this episode of Overtime with our play of the week.
The best play caught on our cameras, back to Guilford. Not really a play, but Coach Chris Dixon getting the ice bucket, then everyone's going down. I think it works a little better on the field, Scott, not in a hallway.
Yeah, I thought that was only for football. Yeah, hang in there, Coach. Love that. You can catch Overtime right here every Friday night through the end of the season, live at 11 p.m. on Fox 39. We'll also rebroadcast these shows Sunday mornings at 9 on Fox 39.
And remember, for highlights and scores anytime, go to our website, mystateline.com. That's it for this show. Thanks for joining us.
Enjoy the rest of your weekend.